Let's talk about West Red Lake Gold Mines. It's a penny stock and it is a gold mine stock. Very interesting in that gold is what, $3,200 at the time of this video. Now realize none of this is financial advice. Please read the disclaimer on the screen. I'm not a financial professional. I do own West Red Lake Gold Mine stock. Let's go over this. So they have this video down here. Let's just click this.
Everything you've seen was purchased for $6 million in cash.
Seems like a pretty good deal.
It's a good deal. Yeah, I think over the years this will be called deal of the decade as we move forward in this gold environment.
Do you ever wonder?
They bought everything for $6 million in cash. So I'm going to mute this and just let it play. So $6 million, they bought this whole infrastructure for a gold mine in Canada. That's pretty darn interesting because a huge expense with gold mines is what? Is setting up the infrastructure, getting the equipment out there. So if there's gold here, right, and they already have the infrastructure and they bought it for a deal, I mean, to me, that sounds like a good place to start. Now, whoever runs the company, we should focus on for a bit. So Shane Williams, right, we can dive into this. Harpreet, we can come down here to Will. So what I like to do, and I come over here and I'll copy the URL. I'm going to come over to what? This is called Notebook LLM. This is a Google product. So I can add any website. Check this out. You're going to like this. So we can do a little research together. So what I did to the left here, I added that. So basically now a piece of AI is able to read this faster than I am, right? I can. So let's come back over here. And I also put that YouTube video I showed you earlier. So tell me a little bit about the leadership team of this company and their past. Right? So this is what we're able to do. Instead of us reading all of this, we could go down here and read all of this together, or we could just push this to an AI, right? And we're able to see, okay, so Shane, he has 25 years of background in mining. He was previously the CEO of Skeena Resources. So what I'm going to do, right here, were these projects successful? And we're going to do this. So basically, I want to know, does the CEO have any previous success? Shane Williams was involved in advancing the past producing, blah, 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 towards a restart. The source does not explicitly state. So I'm going to show you how we can take this a step further. El Dorado Gold, under Shane Williams' leadership, the blah, 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 was successfully brought from preliminary economic assessment to commercial operations in 18 months. So what I'm going to do, we're going to come over here to ChatGPT, and we're going to do a deep research. We're going to say, tell me more about these past projects. And just like that, hit enter, and it's going to do deep research. Do you see it down here, deep research? It's going to actually crawl the internet and tell us more. Now we're going to let that cook in the background. We're going to come back to it. So this is their investors page, capitalization. You can take a look at this. So this is as of February 25th, 2025. So they trade their stock on 3 different exchanges. They have the Canadian exchange, they have the over-the-counter American, and they have the Germany exchange for Europe. And this is what they're, well, let's just go to all. Let's look at this. So this is the Canadian exchange, TSXV. So this is since 2001, and you can see where they are now. Let's come over to, I think this is the over-the-counter, right? And it's only been trading over-the-counter since, well, here it is. Some of them report since 2024, 23. It depends on where you look, but it's pretty sideways right now. We can go over to their financials, 2024 Q1 report for this, MDA. We could click here, uploads. Let's see what happens here. And the cool part is, this is 18 pages of quite a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload a few of their MDAs and their financials, the recent ones, and we're going to push it to AI. And let's just see what AI has to say about this without reading the whole darn thing. So here's an AI overview. So I only pushed this last one, Q1 report for the period ending February 29th. 2024. So this is not financial advice. Remember that. We are just asking an AI what it thinks about this financial report. So we have, this is interesting to me, we were able to actually put the financial statement here so it can crawl through all these numbers, as well as a summary, the MDA, which I believe is close to a summary. So executive summary, it says that the West Red Lake Gold Mines is aggressively invested in the development of its newly acquired Madsen and Rowan gold properties in the Red Lake District. Cool. The financials show a company in early growth mode with substantial exploration spending, minimal revenue, and reliance on financing to fund operations. Okay, fine. Financial highlights, Q1 24 versus Q1 2023. So the net loss was, and remember, this is about a year ago, the net loss was $15 million opposed to the previous year of $2 million. Why? It says that it was a 650% increase, largely from ramped up exploration and hiring. Now, a similar thing, exploration expenses, $12 million versus $86,000, driven by underground drilling and development at Madsen. Cash burn ops, okay, $12 million versus. So you can tell they are spending way more money now. Why? Because, well, they acquired, see right here, acquisitions. They acquired the Madsen mine acquisition in June 23. They acquired it for $46 million, includes 2.5 historical ounce gold and 1.65 million of ounce indicated. Now, they said in that video they acquired something for $6 million. So it must not have been the Madsen mine acquisition. And then the Rowan property acquired December 22 includes 3 past producing Goldmine. Now, in regard to financing, gold-linked notes raised US $24 million in March and April 2024, 12% coupon, amortizing start in 2026. Okay, so what we can do, if that's just too much financial speak, let's do this. Tell me this in regular terms as if I'm a 10th grader, right? Let's just break it down and realize, like I said, none of this is financial advice. This is just entertainment purposes. We're using AI to get into the financials of this penny stock. All right, so the company borrowed about $33 million in early 2024. The loan is tied to the price of gold, kind of like saying, we'll pay you back, and if gold stays above 18 per ounce, you're protected. All right. The 12% coupon, they agreed to pay 12% interest, which is pretty darn high, but they don't start paying it back until 2026. Well, that's coming up pretty soon. Gold escrow to make lenders feel safe. The company set aside some gold to guarantee they won't lose money if prices fall below 1,800. Right now, at the time of this video, gold is like 3,200. Promissory note converted. An older loan they had, called a promissory note, was swapped out for this new gold-linked loan. Interesting. Warrants, RSUs, options. They've given out a lot of bonus shares or the right to buy shares cheap, either to investors or employees. That helps motivate people, but it also dilutes the value of current shares. Too many slices of the same pie. Now, remember we did our research on Shane Williams. We have this output. This is crazy. Outcomes of mining projects involving Shane Williams. I mean, there's a lot of information here. We're going to get into this in a second. Very important. But realize this is a new channel of mine. If you like it, I have a video right here. It's only 7 minutes long. It's really good on a different mining company, so you might like that. And please subscribe to the channel if you find any value here. So remember, this guy, so we come over here to the CEO, Shane Williams. We have to figure out what he's been up to, right? That matters a lot. And so we had a few projects, right? We had the Skeena Resources, British Columbia, Canada. We had El Dorado Gold, Quebec, Canada. We had something in Greece and so on and so forth. That's a lot of information, right? Maybe I could supply that to you in a different way, but too much to read here. So he had a success apparently in Canada with El Dorado Gold. Led the project from PEA to commercial production in just 18 months. The mine launched ahead of schedule and is still outperforming original expectations. Over 1 million ounce produced to date. Excellent. The SK Creek, which is also in Canada, progress, but not yet restarted. So Williams advanced the project through feasibility and permitting, setting it up for a potential restart. However, no production or restart occurred during this time. The one in Greece faced strong opposition and permitting delays. Okay, so a situational issue with the location. The other Greece one, is this different? Yeah, different. He brought it into production on time, but it faced early technical and regulatory issues. Sounds like the Greece stuff has some issues just because it was in Greece. Now let's take it a step further. I asked how big of a success was the success. So the one project that seemed to do well was this one right here. So it was El Dorado Gold in Canada. So it said key achievements and it gave us all this information, but I said, explain to me like I'm in 10th grade. So it was a big win for the company, fast build. They took the mine just from an idea to full production in only 18 months. That's super fast in the mining world. Lots of gold. Started in 2019, the mine has produced over 1 million ounces of gold. Wow. In 2024 alone, they hit a record year producing 200,000. So this guy has had past success, making good money. The mine is worth over 500 million based on gold prices, and that could double if gold goes higher. Long life. They now expect it to produce for 17 more years. Costs are under control. It costs them around $1,285 to produce an ounce of gold, which is good when it sells for over $2,000. Well, nowadays, it's selling for over $3,000. So bottom line, it's one of the company's best performing projects, thanks to the strong leadership, fast development, and great results. Now, if we wanted to go down the rabbit hole even further, so we did deep research on Shane. We relied on AI to do it. We could do it on everyone. The CFO, the chief financial officer, the vice president of exploration, the vice president of operations, corporate development. I mean, they have a robust, very interesting. we could go deeper and we could do the same exact process I just showed you for each person to get a feel for what they're all about. Now, if we come over to their project, so the Rowan project, right? 3,100 hectare property encompassing 3 former gold mines. Maybe this is the one they bought for $6 million. So to give you an idea here, so former gold mines. Remember, they already have the infrastructure for some of this in place. Pretty darn interesting. Some technical stuff. We're not going to go into that in this video. The technical stuff. We kind of went into the technicals of financials, I guess, a little bit. All right, the Madsen mine, fully permitted gold mine in Canada's high-grade gold district. So remember that Shane, the CEO, was having issues in Greece, but he seemed to have success already in Canada. So it leads us to believe that maybe it's just a little bit easier to mine in Canada opposed to, places like Greece. So currently there are 2 projects, as they state, is Madsen Mine and Rowan Project. It seems like the Madsen Mine is, they say, fully permitted, so maybe it's a little closer to being mined at this point, whereas the Rowan Project is the mine. Is it the mine that they purchased for $6 million? Let's do a little bit of research. Okay, look here. This is interesting. So it was the Madsen gold mine that was purchased for $6 million. That's the one that they claim is, what was it? It was fully permitted, right? So let's come back over here. Madsen mine. This whole infrastructure they purchased for $6 million. Fully permitted gold mine in Canada's high-grade gold district. Pretty darn cool. Deep value opportunity. So they're claiming that over 350 million Canadian dollars invested to date, significant and expandable surface, underground infrastructure, potentially transferable tax assets to further underpin evaluation. So my goodness gracious, $6 million for a whole darn thing. Of course, they have to put a lot more money into it to actually get the gold out of the ground. But okay, we answered the question. The Madsen mine was the mine they paid $6 million for. Now, there's more we could get into it, but it started to rain at my office. I'm going to cut it here. Please go to my channel, subscribe. This video right here, you can click on it. It's 7 minutes or so. It's on another gold mine, an exploration gold mine. That's even, well, they just go out and they explore for gold, right? They don't even have the assets like this company we've been going over, West Red Lake Gold Mines, has. In other words, West Red Lake owns all these assets, whereas the one I talk about here is in a phase that's well before that. The exploration phase of mining gold is well before you get the infrastructure